This is our voice note, and we are in episode 2. And on this episode, we feature the one and only Val. Who she is, find all about her in this episode. Get to enjoy, and I hope you enjoy it. Hey Val, how are you doing?
Hi Gikosh, I'm doing so well. What about you?
I am well. Kindly introduce yourself.
Well, hi. So my name is Muthoni legally, but recently I reverted to Islam, so my name is now Muthoni. I am turning 20 years old this month on 20th October. Happy birthday to me in advance. I am a writer, stroke journalist at Stroke News, and also Epic Pulse magazine. I major on the entertainment industry, the creative industry. I write about anything artistic. What are the artists doing? Is there a new song out? I do those kind of things. I'm also the founder and host of Tuesday Talks with Muthoni. It's a talk show as well as a podcast available on YouTube. I also have a major interest in modeling, where I am a commercial model who has so far appeared on magazines, teen magazines, and television, Citizen TV and NTV. I have also done billboards, all over Nairobi. That was last year and also early this year. Yeah, so I'm a commercial model. I am a writer, stroke journalist. I am 20 years old. Have I said I'm a podcaster? Well, yeah, I'm working on a new podcast that will be available on all streaming platforms. That is Spotify, Anchor, Apple Music, all those kinds of things. I'm not even going to reveal its name. Or should I? Actually, let me reveal its name because I'm almost releasing it. By the time this interview is done, I'll be releasing the podcast. The name of the podcast is Clueless Revert Podcast. Yeah, that's me majorly. I'm a creative in short, yeah.
Let's talk about Tuesday Talks with Muthoni. Tell us more about your baby.
Yeah, so as I have mentioned in the introduction part, I am the founder and host of Tuesday Talks with Muthoni. Tuesday Talks with Muthoni was I firstly thought about it in the early year of 2020. During the pandemic, I was sitting at home asking myself, what am I going to do with this long holiday? Then I was like, oh my God, I'm always passionate about creating, like I grew up looking up to people like Oprah Winfrey. I used to look at people like Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson has a live show. I used to look at people like Jeff Koinange, Amina Abiobahi in Kenya, and how they used to invite people to their shows. And okay, they still do that, but that's what I'm speaking about the past. So I used to see them with their guests talking about this and this and these things and this. JK Live, that's my best show that I know. I used also to watch Churchill, this Churchill of Kenya, Churchill show. How he'll bring creatives and all that. And I'll be like, oh my God, when I grew up, I want to be like them. At that time, I didn't know that actually, if I could bring the idea to life, I could actually do it. So that was 2020, and then in the late months of 2020, before we went back to school during the pandemic, I told myself, you know what, I don't have a mic, I don't have a studio platform or anything like that, but I'm gonna be creative. So what did I do? I remember my first guest was a model. I had found this model online. Her name is Bella Akinyi. They call her Bella Heights. I took her to my WhatsApp and I literally interviewed her question per question, and she would reply in the WhatsApp in via text. Then I'll screen record that entire thing and do a voiceover. Then I'll post it in my then Instagram account. So people started resonating with it, and I'll do it like that. I did Bella Akinyi. Then after Bella Akinyi, I did Tamim Sisters. There was this amazing 4-girl group, a cappella group that was singing courtesy of Red Fourth Chorus. So I interviewed one of them. Her name was Valerie something. Oh my God, I've forgotten her name. It's way back, man. Yeah, so I interviewed her via WhatsApp. Then I screen record using my voiceover. Then I posted it on my Instagram. So it continued like that. And people were telling me, you know what, Val, you have such an amazing voice. Why not start your own show? And I'll be like, am I getting the money? Where am I getting the money? I knew if I present this to my mom, because my mom is my closest person, she wouldn't resonate with it. She likes serious things, go study with this and that. So it's like, I need this thing. I'm just passionate about it, but I'll do it maybe when I grow up. So I continued like that. Then 2020 ended, 2021, here I was. I had joined now university, and while I was in the uni, I was super idle. I hate being idle, Dikosh. So I was super idle, and I was like, what will I do with my life? Like, I have so much free time. And as a media student, you have free time, lots of them. At least that's how I viewed it. So it's like, what will I do? So I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. Then thank God, it was so fortunate that I met a friend of mine had a friend who was a magazine editor at Sky Girls at that time. Her name is Charlotte Selina Whitty. So this friend of mine, Agola, sent Selina Whitty on 20th October 2021 to come to my room and wish me happy birthday. So I had no idea of that. So that's that night of 20th October. Celine comes to my room and tells me knock knock. Then I open the door. Then she's like, oh my God. Then I'm like, oh my God. it's Celine from Sky Girls magazine. You know, I used to read magazines a lot and I still do. So when I flipped Sky Girls magazine at that time, at those days, I would see Selena Whitney as the editor. And at the back of my head, I'd be like, I wish to be this person, or maybe I'd like to be an editor of a magazine one day. So when I opened the door that night and I just met her at the door, like, this is Celine, I screamed. Oh my God, I screamed a lot. It was like, oh my God, you're Celine from Sky. And she's like, happy birthday, Valley. Friend has told me to come and tell you happy birthday. So long story short, I remember it was on 20 something, 26. I told myself, this is my golden moment. I'm going to tell her I have a show and I'm going to interview her. So what did I do? I told her what I do. And she was like, okay, we can do it with my phone or your phone. I told her my phone does not have good pixels. Let's do this. Let me use your phone. So I told her, let me use your phone. The audacity. So I used her phone to interview her. I literally recorded her face, like if you watch episode 1 of Tuesday Talks and then you realize that my face is not seen, it's only my voice that's being heard. So Celine was my first guest there. Then I remained with the footage she sent me the footage, so it remained in my phone for days, and I was like, okay, I have the footage, but I don't have a channel. Where am I even going to post this? Then she was like, start your own YouTube channel. Then I was like, I don't know how to. So I didn't want to depend on her in so many things. And Shanga, like, where surely you call yourself creative. So I did my research how to open a YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel on 26th October. Then I'm still with the footage till November something. Was it November? When did I post? Yeah, it was November 2nd. It's when I gathered courage to post or to upload my very first episode. But the YouTube channel, I opened it on 26th October. So I uploaded the video and I shared it with my friends all over social media. And people were like, oh my God, your voice is so nice. Wow, how did you get this girl to interview? And I was like, yeah, so that's how Tuesday. Actually, it was called Tuesday Vlogs in Bunny at that time because ever since I started vlogging, it was just Tuesday Vlogs in Bunny. But at the time, this year, I now turned it to Tuesday Talks with Muthoni because I sat down and I was like, these are not vlogs, these are talk shows. So I turned it to talk show, Tuesday Talks with Muthoni. And majorly, the talk show, it's all about portraying artistic people. If you are a singer, a model, a writer, whoever you are, you can come to the show and talk about yourself, how you got there, your journey to being who you are. And also, season 2 is coming soon, so I'm broadening it to more than just an artistic talk show. I want to bring Actually, I'm bringing new spice because I'm bringing all kinds of people. We are going to the streets, meeting some street children and telling us their story, how they need how they got to be in the streets and not to their homes. Some are orphans, some just decided to run away from their homes. So Tuesday Talks in Vani, it's a talk show where we talk about everything, literally everything. And yeah, that's what I can say. Our main aim is to inspire, have bold conversations, inspire the society, challenge the young people, because young people are engaging in so many weird things out here. So I believe that my talk show will challenge a lot of them. They'll see there's many other ways of utilizing their time other than doing other weird things. Yeah.
What has been the most fulfilling thing about TTWM?
The most fulfilling thing about Tuesday Talks and Bunny, first, I felt so good when I first saw myself having the YouTube channel done. Like, when I created the YouTube channel just like that, it was the most fulfilling moment of myself because I never thought I'll do that. I used to think I'll just stay on Instagram and WhatsApp doing the little vlogging thing. But the most fulfilling moment of my life was that. And then after that, it is when I met this amazing person, shout out to Mash, the photographer, who just came into my life and we started shooting more and more shows with him. And it was such an amazing situation because via that, having the camera and me being more open with him and finding new and more guests to bring to the show and also finding locations, it has not been a walk in the park, but the most fulfilling part of that journey has been seeing myself making big strides, interviewing bigger people than I ever imagined. I never thought I'll ever sit with a managing director of a restaurant and talk about his career and his journey to where he is right now. It is like, wow, all the strides that I've made, that's so fulfilling. I don't think there's any that I'll call it the list because every step that I have made with my talk show has been so fulfilling. It's so inspiring. It keeps giving me the urge of to keep going, Val, you can do this. Let's see where you can go with all these changes and all these steps that you're making. So yeah, I hope I have answered your question.
Tell us about your writing.
Okay, number 5 is my favorite so far. Yeah, so about writing. I have to say I love writing. I have always loved writing. Actually, people say I love talking and I don't know, they love my voice, but I love writing more because it's all about keeping quiet, thinking, and then putting the pen to the paper and just writing what you think. It's epic, it's amazing. So about my writing, Sikwanza Juzi. the best part where I can remember where I first wrote professionally and it took me places. It is when I was 12 years old. I was literally in class 6. There was this magazine that was coming school after school. I don't know if it was in a school Gikosh, but there's this magazine by the name Maneno World magazine. It used to circulate in different schools. So it came to our school and it was like, it's challenging all students from I think it was from class 4 to class 8 to write articles based on certain topics and submit the articles to the address of the magazine. Then the best article that will be have what am I saying? The best article to be written by a certain student will be awarded. Either you'll be awarded with a trip to somewhere, or you'll not only get to go somewhere, some of the counties in Kenya, you'll also be able to be featured on the next issue of the magazine. So I was like, wow. So people bought the magazines of Maneno World magazine. Then the teachers were given the topics. There were HIV and AIDS, mental health, FGM. At that time, FGM was such a topic. So yeah. So for me, I went to my class teacher and I told him, I want the topic based on FGM. So he was like, okay, I believe in you, take the topic. So I went home and I didn't tell anyone anything. Actually, whenever I enter a competition or whatever, I don't tell anybody. I just do my things low key. So I took the topic FGM, I wrote about it. You are supposed to create an imaginative story of someone you know, or just come up with a story telling people that FGM is wrong. Don't indulge in FGM. And I came up with a story about Naomi and Mary and how they were in this community that practices FGM. I literally remember everything that I wrote, and I don't want to make this story long. Yeah, my answer long. So about my writing, that's where it started. The most validating part of my writing, it's when I wrote the FGM article, not thinking about the prize, not thinking actually I'll be featured in the next issue. I just wrote, telling myself, I literally put myself in that situation of FGM and Nenos, and was like, let me write this article, not because I want a prize, but let me just write this article because for the love of writing. So one afternoon, after days of submitting the article and everything, our deputy head teacher comes to class and tells me that I have made the school proud. Out of all the schools in Uasin Gishu County, at that time I was in Uasin Gishu County, I am the first student to write the best article among all the schools, and I am the only student who has represented our school in the entire county in terms of writing. I was amazed. But that was a spoiler. Like, angeta tu niambiwe kwa assembly peke yangu. Like, okay, it was a spoiler and I didn't believe it, so I kept quiet. Then the next day, I think it was on a Friday morning, I was called in front of the assembly. I was awarded the certificate. Then with weeks, I was told the kind of prizes I had won. My nini, what oh gosh, my article was published on the next issue. It was so amazing. I felt like a star. And from then, that was my biggest validation. I was like, oh my God, so I am a writer, so I can do this. So I kept on writing. I read lots of books. I bet you've seen, I am so passionate about reading books, reading articles. Yeah, so I kept on writing and writing and writing. Then, coming to high school, I stopped writing. I started singing. Sorry for another day. Then when I came now to campus, this girl from this girl, I don't want to mention where she works, but her name is Victoria Onjiku. Shout out to her. So she knew how passionate I was about writing, how passionate I was about magazine. So in one way or another, she connected me to this guy, this gentleman who works with who was a freelancer of Standard newspaper and also was the editor-in-chief of East African Prime. So I didn't know any of that was happening. So me, in a random afternoon, I was traveling from Nairobi to Eldoret, and I get this random phone number calling me. So I'm like, oh my God, who is this calling me? And spoiler alert, when I get a new number calling me, I tend to assume it. So I was like, wow. Should I pick up this number or I should just let it ring? So it rang like twice. Then Victoria called me and I was like, hello. Then she's like, there's a number that's calling you, but you're not reachable. Kindly, if it calls you again, make sure you receive the number. You receive the call. So I was like, okay. I didn't even ask her who's calling, or is he calling, or why is she calling. So the number called again. So I picked, and I'm literally at the bus station taking my ticket, paying for the ticket so that I can go to Eldoret. So I received the call, and the call tells me, where are you? He doesn't even introduce himself. He says, where are you? And I'm like, I'm almost boarding a car to Eldoret. And he's like, can you come to KTN right now? And I'm like, me? KTN? Like me? Like literally? He's like, or maybe you should just check your WhatsApp. There's a topic I have sent you. Make sure you write about it right now ASAP and send me I don't know what, your draft. And it's like, oh my God, I'm literally traveling. How am I supposed to do this? So it's like, oh, you can't write it right now? Or can't you just come to KTN? I'm like, oh my goodness. As much as I want to go to KTN, like it's so beautiful to go there. Like it's so big. It's giving. I need to go to Eldoret right now. It was like, maybe another day. And I nikakata simu. So when I went to Eldoret and reaching there, Days later, he calls again and gives me a topic. The first topic that he gave me was to write about, I don't know, C.S. Matiang'i had done what. And me with politics, guy, I'm not good at that. So I was like, I hope he gives me a different topic when I reach Eldoret, a reasonable topic, at least for me. So I reached Eldoret. After days, he gave me this topic to talk about, to write about religion and politics, how politicians are misusing churches and I don't know where to talk about their political grounds and stuff. So it's like, oh my god, how am I going to do this? Like, I'm an entertainment guru, I'm not into politics or religion stuff, and you know. So it's like, I don't want to complain because this is a big opportunity. I'm about to write for Standard. Huh? Let me write. So I sat down that night. I literally burnt the midnight oil trying to find out, doing research here and there. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to write about? I didn't even tell anyone what I was doing. So I burnt the midnight oil. I wrote the article. I submitted it, and I went offline because I hate being told. I hate being told no. Like, just no. It's nobody like. Mm-mm. So I sent the article, and he sends me the response and tells me this is awful. Write another one. Oh my god. Like, I have always believed in myself that I'm a good writer. I believe in myself the best ways, and you know, like rank high. So I was told this is awful, write another one. Bro, like, gosh, I was like, what's wrong with this person? I recently just anyway, let me just write again. So I didn't give up. I did my research over and over again. I wrote the article over again, and I was taking the church side. Yeah, because it was church versus politicians. So I took the church side and I say, let the church, I don't know, do this and that, blah, 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 blah. It is it. So I wrote it, and he was like, oh my god, wait for the newspaper to, the Tuesday newspaper. I don't know, you'll check this page and this page, your article will be there. I was screaming because I was screaming. And then that day on Tuesday, I woke up very early, didn't brush my teeth, didn't do nothing. I rushed to the nearest shopping center and took the newspaper from there. And when I just opened that page, I was like, oh, this is my article. I was so happy. I was so excited. And from there, just some doors started opening. People read the article, and they were like, first from Facebook, I got such a great response, such a great, you know, and people are like so happy. And from there, I don't know how I found myself writing for Standard newspaper more and more and more. Then with due time, I got myself writing for East African Prime. There, I learned so much. I was writing about entertainment. I was writing about politics. I was writing about sports. I was literally coming out of my comfort zone and shocking myself in so many ways. With due time, I have my press card. I was so excited. And with due time, here I am at Epic Pulse. Like, everything led to another, and I saw myself growing and growing. So that's how my writing started, just like that, so randomly. And I have to say, I have met so many people. I have interviewed so many people that I never thought I'll ever interview. Yeah, writing is amazing, especially if you're into media and stuff. It's super amazing. And that is a short story. I hope it was not long. Yeah.
What really keeps you going in this industry?
Well, what keeps me going? The fact that I'm so passionate about everything I do. I'm so passionate about writing. I'm so passionate about being in front of the camera and talking and interviewing new people. I'm so passionate about modeling, commercials here and there, take a pose, smile, dress up. Yeah, so that's something that pushes me more. It's passion. It's the passion that I have. Secondly, who doesn't want to be big? Who doesn't want to make it huge? The bag. I have to say the bag also pushes me. Like, the passion, the impact that I make. You know, I write an article and then someone reads it and tells me, you know what? You've changed me. And I'm like, wow, did I change you? It's like, it's your way of writing. Like, you communicate to your readers so well. Or your talk show really inspired me. It made me see the world in a different view. I don't know what, like, the responses keep me moving, keep me going. They keep me, like, wow, it's so amazing to do something out of passion, then out of nowhere, you're impacting your generation. Bigger people, like older people than you, are telling you you're inspiring them. Bro, I'm just 20. I'm barely 20, actually. And it's so amazing to see people impacted by the things you do. So that's exactly, like, when I wake up and I meet an email. Yeah, I've been sent an email, like, with let me see. Like, so far I'm in Tuko. So I see an email from a random person from Instagram telling me, you know, I follow you from Instagram and I saw this article and it's so amazing. I like how you write. I don't know what. It really validates what I'm doing and it keeps me grounded, and it also makes me, like, always be on my feet to do what I need to do. And how do I manage the creativity block? Well, I have to say, gosh, being consistent is hard. Consistency is hard. And sometimes you just wake up, you're given an article to write about something, or you're given an assignment to go and meet someone and talk about this and this. And you're like, I don't feel like doing this. Or maybe, where will the energy come from? Or you just don't feel creative. There are those moments. And personally for myself, sijipeangi pressure. You know, this thing, hatuna pressure thing about Gen Zs. So me, when I feel I have that block in me, there's no time for crying or stressing myself. I just say, today I don't feel like doing this. I know it will cost me, but I just don't feel like doing it, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to I'm not going to stress myself about this, because if you pressurize yourself a lot, if you stress yourself a lot, you might be this close to losing your creativity. Yeah. So what I do, I give myself some grace. Give yourself some grace. Don't pressurize yourself. Take it easy. You can be who you want to be anytime, anywhere, but just give yourself grace. Actually, my message is give yourself grace. Take that a break. There's some reasons why most creatives go out and run for no reason. Listen to music, run, take a walk. Yeah. Give yourself some grace. That's what I'll say.
Tell us more about your upcoming podcast.
Yeah, a podcast is coming, a streaming podcast is coming, an audio podcast is coming. Yeah. So what motivated me to do that? Well, I have never been a fan of audio podcasts because I have always been passionate about looking at the host. This is the host. Oh my, I mean, Abdi, you're looking so amazing. And the guest here, I feel like I feel so connected with visual podcast than audio podcast. But recently, I was in this award watch party of APVA. I hope I'm saying it correctly. And I was in a room of all podcasters in Kenya. I saw Ben Cycle from Joyride podcast. I met Fiona Akumu from Yes Girls podcast. I met Awiti from Unspoken podcast. I don't know what. I was just looking like this. I'm seeing a podcaster. I'm in a room full of icons, literally in a hall of fame. And I was like, oh my god, these podcasters are so amazing. And some are just the ones I've been listening to and watching, and they were literally there. And then how they were talking about their podcast and telling me about their podcast, how they started and everything like that. Some had already won. Shout out to Awiti, she won. Akumu won. And I was like, oh my god, oh my god. And then there's this other podcaster. His name is Apollo Zaswani. Big up to him. Like how whenever I listen to his podcast, I'm really like, wow. Wow, I think I can do this. But whenever I tell myself I think I can do this, something draws me off. But now, with the new journey that I've just started, I recently reverted to Islam, and I feel like the journey has taught me a lot. Being a new Muslim, literally clueless about everything, I have navigated this journey in a very weird way, trying to find out things on my own, trying to find my old friends from way back who are Muslims and who are Muslims, who I used to look up to, who I used to see how they navigate their journey in life and stuff. So this new podcast, its name is Clueless Revert Podcast. It's dedicated to anyone thinking of joining Islam, anyone who is new to Islam, anyone who has just joined Islam, anyone who has second guesses. Oh my god, I just reverted to Islam. I don't have any information. I don't have any community to teach me how to do stuff. What am I supposed to be doing? Like you feel like you're so cornered and alone, and yet this is something you really want to do. So the podcast is dedicated to those kind of people. Clueless Revert is literally me in a nutshell. When I was starting my Muslim journey or Islam journey, I was literally clueless. Yes, I knew we pray at this time, and at this time. This is what to do. This is what to do. But I was literally clueless. So this podcast is literally dedicated to myself. I'm taking my listeners in a journey of how I reverted to Islam, what made me revert to Islam, and my life rebrand, how I got to rebrand myself from who I used to be spiritually to now who I am right now. I'm also talking about mental health because in the midst of all that, changing your religion to something else, there's so many people who come to your doorstep telling you, why are you doing this? I don't think you're okay. I think you're going crazy. So your mental health as a revert is always at stake because people will say weird things to you. People will judge you. People will misjudge you. People will put words in your mouth. And this podcast is here for anyone who feels like is not understood, everyone who feels like is not seen. It's literally a random guideline for any clueless revert out there. Yeah.
What piece of advice do you have for someone who wants to do what you do?
To a young person out there who wants to join a creative industry or who wants to become a creative, well, my advice to you is just that, just do it. Yeah, the Nike thing, just do it because you never know. Actually, as a creative, you just start because you have the capability of starting. Okay, first the idea didn't come to your mind just for you to sit on it. The idea the idea of the project or whatever that came into you. Everyone has a podcast in herself. Everyone is creative in himself. Everyone has the capability of starting something and turning it to be super iconic. So what I'll tell the young person, just that you might start even at the lowest ground coming up, whichever way you choose, just that. And then in the process of starting, I'll advise him or her to also do so much research. Like just do research. I don't know if you're getting my point. Do research. If you want to start a podcast, do your research. What is a podcast? What are the streaming platforms that a podcast should be on? How do I do this? How do I manage my time, consistency, maintenance, and all that stuff? Also, research and believe in yourself because people that don't know you. I remember when I was starting my talk show, there are people who used to know me as an introvert. So they'll be like, you started your talk show. Are you sure you can do this? I mean, you're an introvert. Are you not camera shy? So be ready to hear anything, any critique, anything. Those who are coming to gaslight you, they'll be there. Be ready for anything. But at most, do research and believe in yourself. Yeah, do research and believe in yourself.
Kindly plug yourself and all that you do.
So I'm here to plug myself. Where can you find me? Where can you find my products? I changed my Instagram account. Currently on Instagram. I'm currently on Instagram at ___ three underscores Nawal Muthoni. Put a Y at the end. Then I'm on YouTube at Tuesday Talks with Muthoni on YouTube. I am on Spotify at Clueless Revert Podcast. I am on No, I'm not on Twitter. I'm on threads __ Tuesday Talks with Muthoni or __ Nawal Muthoni, put out the end. I'm also at LinkedIn where we get the professionalism at the notch. Yeah, check me there at Valerie Muthoni. And yeah, so if you want anything regarding anything, just check me out on those platforms. Yeah, and also my email is available on all those platforms. Yeah.
What would you love Val to be remembered for?
My legacy is big. I can already see it coming. Okay, so the legacy I want to leave behind, I want to leave the spirit of being authentic. Over the years, my past life, I've not been that super authentic, but with time and learning and venturing into different things, I have learned how to be authentic and how authenticity is so key. It's so important in whichever industry that you're in, and not only in the industries that we are in, but also as a human being. I also want to leave a legacy of inspiration, lots of inspiration. You can literally do it. I wish we could have a broader topic on how I got where I am right now, but that's a story for another day. That's a story for another episode, maybe. But I am literally a walking testimony, and my legacy, I want to leave a big legacy, not only in the creative industry, but also in the mental health awareness part, because man, I have a lot to say. I have a lot that I want to work on. I have a lot that I need to portray, and the legacy is coming. I just have to tell you that believe in yourself, be authentic, and always choose you. Be true to yourself. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Thank you, Gikosh, for this opportunity. It's amazing, and I wish you all the best in whichever things that you put your mind through. Bye.
See you on the next note.